Among all the European nations, Eastern European countries are probably the least talked about. For years, they've struggled with poverty, conflicts, and corruption. But now, all of that is changing. While European giants like France and the UK are fighting devastating hikes in the cost of living, countries like Romania and Poland are quietly emerging as Europe's next economic superpower. Most of you might see these countries as the places of medieval churches, misty mountains, and old castles. But beyond that, these countries are rising rapidly towards tech stardom. So, how have they kept their economic power a secret? More importantly, what makes them such a hot place for tech? Stay tuned to the very end to find out. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future videos like this. If I had told you a few decades ago that the country that would shape the future of the European Union and the entire continent would be Romania, you would have laughed at me. But today, that's the reality we live in. No matter how odd this might sound, Romania, together with Poland, is on the verge of radically transforming the continent. But the question is, how did these countries even get into the race to become Europe's economic leaders? I mean, just a few decades ago, these same countries were struggling with poverty. It's common knowledge that these countries have had a stormy past dating back decades before Europe's current day. But just like a miracle out of that turbulent past, a new chapter is unfolding in the heart of Europe. The question now is how Romania and Poland, previously ravaged by violence and poverty, became trailblazers for a new century. To get that answer, we must examine their durability over centuries of eventful history defined by invasions, occupations, and revolutions. Despite enduring a really difficult time during the end-all and be-all of this age, these countries' unyielding spirit developed a collective drive inside them to restore their individuality. Key episodes in their quest for freedom, like Warsaw's 1944 uprising and Bucharest's 1989 revolution, demonstrated the people's unwavering will to shape their own futures in the face of hardship. And since the start of the millennium, Romania and Poland have both shown exceptional economic durability. For example, Poland's GDP has increased by more than 150%, while Romania grew drastically with its exceptional skilled labor. And as a result, both countries' economic landscapes have changed, opening the way for a bright future. Not only that, but their rehabilitation post-World War I was considerably steadfast despite the tough challenges they faced. Both of these countries concentrated on renewing their infrastructure, reviving cultural identities, and instilling a strong sense of community among their populations. And the best part is that it's all paid off. Even though the echoes of their difficulties and accomplishments can still be heard throughout their communities, Romania and Poland have shown little signs of slowing down. Over the last decade, Romania's IT sector has grown significantly, resulting in thriving startup communities and a digital landscape teeming with innovation throughout the country. According to statistics, up to 92% of Romania's population used the internet at the beginning of 2023, and if anything, this is a milestone that places Romania as a tech-savvy country suitable for tech-driven entrepreneurship. Poland, on the other hand, has had an equally outstanding economic trajectory, taking advantage of its key geopolitical position between Eastern and Western Europe. The country's substantial industrial sector, which includes mining and manufacturing, has significantly increased its financial strength. Poland's GDP increased by a staggering 4.5% in 2019, cementing its position as one of the EU's fastest-growing nations. And things have only gotten better for Poland since then, despite the dip in 2020. Both countries have also actively explored alliances and joint ventures with international organizations, providing a conducive climate for foreign trade and investment within their respective domains. Poland's participation in the 3Cs initiative and Romania's entry into the European single market, for example, demonstrate their dedication to economic integration and international outreach. As a result of these actions, the two countries have become increasingly interwoven in their narratives. Both countries have demonstrated creativity, resilience, and strategic vision, so it is not surprising that they have emerged as Europe's new leaders, signaling a shift in the continent's power balance and ushering in an era of progress, innovation, and shared prosperity. And their collective GDP amounts to an astonishing amount. Romania's GDP has reached almost $370 billion, with a thriving IT industry reflecting its judicious use of EU subsidies since entering in 2007. Meanwhile, Poland has a strong economy, with GDP topping $845 billion since the fall of the Iron Curtain. The 1989 revolution highlighted Romania's transition to democracy, which was strikingly comparable to Poland's struggle against communist rule and the ensuing revolutionary solidarity movement. The issue with these alterations is that they were clearly intentional. Romania deliberately used EU money to modernize infrastructure, stimulate innovation, and build a business-friendly climate, and the strategy paid off, with the country attracting foreign capital and bolstering critical industries such as manufacturing, agriculture, and information technology. On the other hand, Poland's perseverance and budgetary restraint resulted in diverse exports, particularly in machinery, electronics, and autos, cementing its position as Central Europe's manufacturing hub. But what has really helped these countries grow is their collaboration, which has been highlighted by initiatives like Via Carpathia. This connects Baltic dark energy in the seas, demonstrating the deeper linkages between the two countries. Moreover, it's common knowledge that Romania and Poland intend to expand their trade and streamline cross-border communication to cement their positions as economic hubs in Central and Eastern Europe. Both of these countries are embracing digitization by leveraging cutting-edge technologies and skilled workforces for the seamless integration of e-governance, digital banking, and e-commerce. This partnership has resulted in tremendous gains, as seen by a record 19% annual increase in bilateral commerce over the last few years. Especially Romania, as the country is slowly becoming the Silicon Valley of Europe. Romania's geographical location has made it an important player in energy transport routes. Its pipelines and facilities help to transfer oil, gas, and electricity throughout Europe. Access to diverse markets, combined with competitive labor costs and EU banking, has greatly increased foreign investment in the country, and as a result, more jobs have been created and the economy has grown significantly. The most significant driver of Romania's spectacular growth over the previous decade has been its participation in the European Union. Ever since joining the EU in 2007, Romania has been gradually catching up with its wealthier neighbors. With funds from the EU flying into the country, Romania got its much-needed economic boost. The country received access to the European Union's single market, Western investment, and EU money, all of which have proven extremely advantageous. The EU single market includes the entire market of 27 EU countries, which total 450 million people. The removal of technical, legal, and bureaucratic barriers allows for the unrestricted movement of products, services, and people within this large market. However, one of the most significant benefits of EU membership for Romania is the availability of EU funds. These EU funds are subject to particular requirements aimed at forcing much-needed reforms within the country. But to get this financial assistance from the EU, Romania must meet EU legislation and norms. This alignment strengthened governance and stability, resulting in a significant rise in foreign investment and a more stable economic environment. The International Monetary Fund predicted over 3% economic growth for Romania this year, boosted by European Union spending, currency stability, and foreign investment. This economic expansion is outpacing its wealthier neighbors, such as Poland and Hungary. Not only that, Romania is expected to receive over 90 billion euros in EU funds, with the government intending to tap into approximately 10 billion euros per year until 2027. 3 decades after the post-communist transition, Romania has now realized most of its potential. The country has a well-educated population and a diverse, modernizing economy. But what sets Romania apart from other European nations is the fact that, while others were lagging behind in digitization, Romania had a strong emphasis on IT, high-tech sectors, logistics, and energy. Now, along with its strategic location on the Danube in Southeast Europe, it's becoming an appealing destination for foreign investors. This constant improvement is assisting Romania in closing the wealth gap with the rest of the EU. In 2010, GDP per capita in purchasing power parity terms was 53% of the EU average. Today, it stands at 74%, with Bucharest and Western Romania being the two wealthiest regions and the biggest recipients of foreign direct investment. In recent years, Romania's city, Cluj, has emerged as a technology hotspot, earning the nickname Silicon Valley of Eastern Europe. For years, it has been an attractive location for technology investors, and more foreign enterprises are relocating there. Not to mention, it's one of Europe's fastest-growing markets, populated by fresh graduates with strong language abilities. But that's not all. Many digital entrepreneurs believe this has converted the city into more than just an attractive investment location. The emphasis has now turned to innovative domestic firms. Not only that, the country has also built on its communist legacy of success in scientific, math, and technology education. Mircea Vardan, a digital entrepreneur and founder of Cluj startups, said that there are a lot of people with technical and software development skills in the country. And compared to most other Central and Eastern European countries, Romania has a greater human resource base, so it's easier to locate talent. On top of that, thanks to the entrepreneurial environment in the country, it's gotten easier for skilled professionals to find jobs when one company fails. Back in 2016, Romanian startups funded €11.3 million, whereas the total value of exits was €72 million. And in the first 8 months of 2017, funding increased to a whopping €38.4 million. This was partly driven by Romania's largest ever Series A financing, which received $30 million from UiPath, a producer of robotic process automation software with a significant multinational clientele. But things don't stop there. Many of the global companies have roots in Romania. That's right, overseas enterprises frequently have Romanian DNA. Not to mention, in recent years, we've witnessed their manufacturing industries bloom as well, with more and more companies starting shops in either Romania or Poland, thanks to their skilled labor and strategic location. So, with this much going on for both Poland and Romania, it's easy to see why these countries are turning into global outsourcing destinations. But what do you think? Is Romania the place to be for IT professionals, or are they better off moving to Silicon Valley? Let us know in the comments below.